Back from the MLG offices in New York City, I'm Axel Toss. I'm joined by Axel. You just saw us destroy some newbies on the ladder. No offense to you guys. You guys were classy opponents. You almost broke us, but can't simply break the Axe Bros.
How do you break an axe, man? Like
like
you put a stone there and hope you swing at it? No.
No.
We're not that dumb.
How do you break an axe? Like an axe, like when I'm thinking, like it's one of the most powerful weapons.
Oh yeah.
In the history of modern or general any warfare.
Norse warriors use it. They use swords too. What's great about axes though is they're cheaper to make than a sword.
Yeah, I feel like they're a little bit more
make.
mobile too, maybe.
Probably less mobile. Well,
yeah, that's true.
More weight at the end actually makes it harder to wield.
So I would have 2 axes, I think.
Yeah.
And they'd be a bit lighter.
Like hand axes,
so
not a full battle axe, but yeah, they'll.
Yeah, so I can just be really. And
2 hatchets.
I can maybe put them in like when I need
them.
Maybe back here.
You have 2 of those, and then you have a bunch of even smaller ones, like little mini hatchets you can throw at people too.
Yeah.
You have like a belt of those, right? Yeah. Throwing a hatchet though, it's pretty tough, I imagine.
Yeah, I've been practicing.
Yeah.
I was really good at beer pong in college, and it's like the same concept.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a very water pong, excuse me. A very similar concept.
All right.
So what we're doing here, Acer TeamStory Cup, Act 2. This is Act 2. We already started out with Acer versus Liquid. No spoilers. Actually, I'll spoil it. You guys know.
Acer 153.
Acer 153 was awesome. It's gonna be on YouTube sometime today, in a few hours. Pigs will. YouTube.com/official MLGSC2. Next up, we got more live StarCraft 2. Awesome live StarCraft 2. Specifically, Axiom versus Western Wolves.
That's right. It's a best of 9 all-kill format team match between the number 1 and number 2 in the Acer TeamStory Cup. The first match is going to be Ryung versus San on Yansu. You know, they've been starting Ryung a lot, Axiom has, which I find interesting.
Okay.
Because when I think of Ryung, I think of like the TVT sniper, right?
When I think of Ryung, I think of our experience at that tournament you were at, GESL.
Oh, yes.
I had a lot of fun with Axiom there. Alicia was there. They're the coolest dudes.
They are.
They're
really
the coolest dudes.
There's something, yeah. Well, you can live through their play vicariously remotely via this cast.
Good luck. I'm not gonna be. I'm not a biased guy, but they're good guys.
Yep.
But yes, go on. Sorry.
So I always think of him as like a TVT sniper. He's good at all matchups, of course, but if you think about it, you often want to save your snipers for later. But then also, because Western Wolves has Sting, who's a very good Terran player.
Do you know who Western Wolves is putting out?
Song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. I wasn't sure if you knew based on those characters. I didn't know you could read.
Oh, I can read everything, man. Wow. I'm just kidding. I can't.
Can you read minds?
Sometimes.
Ooh.
Sometimes.
What am I thinking right now?
You're thinking that you hope Ryung's going to win, but unfortunately, San is probably favored in a PvT?
No.
Shoot.
When I cast StarCraft, I never hope a player wins. But good try.
But you just said how you really love...
I can talk about his personality and stuff without hoping he wins. Like he's a swell guy. I'm sure San's a swell guy too. I haven't had the fortune of meeting San, but I'm sure he's great too. Good try though.
All right, so there's gonna be a few minutes for this to start. But basically, San is I almost want to say his best matchup is PvT. So I think Ryung is gonna have his hands full. Of course, San is probably the strongest player in Western Wolves right now. He's really good. Like people forgot about him because he like.
So what's his story? I'll be honest. I'm one of those who I've been pretty busy. I'm remembering stories. What is San's like when you think of San?
Yes.
What's his main story? Because I feel like he's one of those that's been kind of everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, it's totally different for everyone.
Yeah.
But for me, when I think of San, I remember that match. It was either round of 8 or round of 4 of GSL Code S. This was back before the Templar nerf.
Oh.
And he was playing, I think it was SC. This was like semifinals or quarterfinals of GSL. PvT.
PvT.
And he was it was on that giant map with like 8 spawns. Like the biggest map ever made. Actually second biggest.
Kulash Ravine.
No. It was after that. It was only GSL. They didn't use it outside of GSL. It was the one Marine King did like the mech push versus Protoss and a whole lot of weird stuff would happen.
See, now you're driving me crazy, man.
Anyways,
how do I find this?
Whatever. It's basically he had pylons everywhere. He was like one of the first Protosses to really start spreading pylons out and just being as annoying as possible to the Terran player. Yes.
what is that called again?
I don't know. Just
Terminus.
Terminus. Yes.
Terminus.
Terminus. It was on that map.
Click on it, Axel Toss. Okay, go. Sorry.
He had literally pylons everywhere. He was like the most annoying Protoss ever. That's my best memory. But the fact is San's. I mean, he's done a lot of really great tournaments. I mean, GSL he got 3rd, 4th, losing to MVP. That was in 2011, late 2011. He actually got 3rd, 4th again in 2012. So like 2012, 2011, he's performed really well. 2013, Acer Rock, he got 2nd place, only losing to Tasia. So even in 2013, he's still been doing well, but he's kind of dropped. He used to be like one of the top gold Protosses in the world, a top GSL contender.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think he was ever the best Protoss, but he was up there. And lately, he's kind of dropped off a bit, but he's still really, really good. And I haven't seen him play for a while, so I'm actually really interested to see how he plays. Ryung, of course, one of my favorite players. I loved him in WCS America.
He's super solid.
And we talk about TVT being his best matchup, but his other matchups are very good as well. I remember that series he had in WCS America Season 1, the one we covered.
Right.
Hero won it. But the only person who, like, Ryung played it, like, narrowly lost 2-3 to Hero. And Hero stomped everyone else. And I think Ryung lost to him in, like, the semifinals or quarterfinals. But I really felt that was almost the finals of the tournament. It was Ryung versus Hero in WCS. It was the finals of WCS America Season 1.
Yeah, Axiom had a massive stamp at WCS America, the finals. I think 3 or 4 players were involved from Axiom.
Alicia was there. Ryung was there.
Crank.
That was it. Yeah. Hard to make it.
Okay.
Hard lost, or he lost to
3 out of
Ghost User or something.
3 out of 5, like 3 is pretty darn good.
Yep.
So, yeah, Axiom always fun to watch.
And I mean, they're making their stamp on the Acer Team Cup right now, right? They're 2-1, only lost 1 match so far. So if they win this,
and they just had a birthday.
Yes, they did. That was about a week ago, right?
Yep, they just had a birthday. And they had the letters they go with is AX,
which is awesome. You know, how many A's and X's are there? Well, there's 1 A in San, I guess, but
there's only one of each of those
in
letters
Western
in
Wolves,
the alphabet.
Western Wolves doesn't have a single A or X in all of it.
That's true. But without Western Wolves, you can't have www, which means you can't have the internet.
Oh, shoot, you're right.
So that's why I am a big Western Wolves fan. Just
okay,
the WW.
Looks like the game might be ready.
Yes. Yes. How you guys doing in the chat, by the way? Are you excited? Who do you think's going to win? Let me know. Acer. Sorry. That already happened. Mine needs to go forward. Axiom or Western Wolves. Axiom or Western Wolves. Let me know in the chat. It's about to begin. Maybe I'll get some shout-outs. Maybe I won't. Uminum, how you doing? You're awesome. DK Hype. Rip D9. Bots Vamp. Hunter Orc. Shalashaska 824, a regular. Krig. Nupa Starigo, Math Obsessed, another regular here in the.
Oh yeah, I love Math Obsessed.
Pathfinder Gold, Yox 22, Yves Lorento, Shark SC22. How you guys doing? Welcome to act number 2 of the day.
So
of the Acer TeamStory Cup.
Someone in chat is asking, is Scarlet playing? She's not on either of these teams.
Right.
One thing actually is confusing, like why you said Acer, because Axiom and Acer banded together to play in GSTL.
See, that's why I said
so they, kind of like TL and EG did for Pro League.
Yep.
Because in the Korean team leagues, you need a giant roster to compete in, right? So you can't go in with a 4-man roster. So that's why there's some confusion.
They came together.
Yep. Acer played earlier today, just a couple hours ago. They did not use Scarlet. I think she's still in. She's trying to rest her wrist.
Yeah, I mean, she went on record saying that she would take like a year off or something.
And then she took like 2 months.
She started doing amazing in WCS, so she shortened it a little bit, and then people wanted her back, kind of thing. So it's one of those things where she never actually took a break in a sense.
Yeah.
So I can kind of understand if she she needs to take a break. By the way, if y'all are confused by the lettering at the top, that is San.
Yes.
San. Western Wolves San there in the top right.
It's hard for me to say San without saying San Zenith.
Yeah,
it's like it's rooted in my head.
And that's really good branding that's really good marketing by Zenith, because they made that connection in your mind. Now that's all you think of. Of course, his opponent in the bottom left-hand location, the red Terran player Axiom, Ryung.
He's got a cool little panda claw or whatever that is.
It's like a dog print.
Dog print?
Yeah. I feel like the little hyphens on the edge of the circle is kind of a playful feel to it, which makes me think of a dog. I could be wrong though. I reserve the right to be wrong.
I just thought panda because of white and black.
Yes. What about Dalmatian?
Yeah. I mean, like if you actually think about it, the print wouldn't have nothing to do with the colors of the animal, but for some reason it's the way my brain works, right?
It's like someone spilled milk and this dog conveniently happened to step on it.
Yeah. You're like, well, it's got to be a Dalmatian. It's white
It's
and
a
black,
Dalmatian.
right?
I mean, you stepped in milk, white and black. It's the color of the dog.
That's how you tell their color by their hoofprints.
Yes. Now, I don't know what is on this Nexus of Mr. San. Looks like a Protoss Zealot face.
Yeah, I would say, or it could be, is that a Templar? No, Zealot.
Whoever it is important.
Yeah. Maybe it's a...
He will not be forgotten.
Yeah, a member of the Conclave or something.
Yep.
So, we do have pretty standard stuff so far. We have a, looks like it's going to be most like a Reaper expansion. Well, we already see the Reaper coming out. We already see the expansion, so I guess it's a Reaper expansion. Followed with a Reactor. We'll see how he goes along. Two guys behind on gas, so not going to attack super fast off that. Some players go straight to like Widowmine drop after Reaper expansion. With 2 on gas, it'll slow him down a bit if that's his goal. Reaper sees a Nexus, pokes it in main. Of course, it was a Nexus. I think he got the Zealot first, and then it was a Nexus. But with Mothership Core here, he shouldn't take any damage to the Reaper. In fact, Reaper's going to back away. You know what's interesting?
What's that?
He never revealed this Reaper to Sam. He saw the Nexus, and then he's like, you know what? He's going to have a Mothership Core out, so why should I even go in his main? There's not going to be anything interesting to see, right? There's no way it's a tech structure yet, given that Nexus timing. So why should I let him know I have a Reaper? Because...
I mean, you could try to get damage done, but then the chances of...
Yeah, I mean, with he already knows there's a Zealot there,
Yeah.
Distract. He already knows there's probably Mothership Core or Stalker out. And this way, he almost has a decent chance to get damage on later. Like, well, first he's looking for proxy stuff, right? Be safe, catch a probe. That'd be nice. And then also, you could just pop in later. And if the Protoss doesn't expect the Reaper, you can kind of come in and like you'll get a better scouting than you would have normally because you won't be in position to defend it. Like if you look at this, well, actually he is
Oh,
kind of
there's the shelf. Gonna jump in there.
Yep.
Zealot saying, "Come back here." How is he so fast? Why can't I get jetpacks? Come on,
and he
Protoss.
spots the Twilight Council. That's a nice.
Nice. Wow.
He's
Great scout
gonna
there.
get away too. Oh, the Stalker almost padded him a bit. He might have
So,
gotten a kill if he could.
I'm wondering, like, was that a situation where Sana's like, okay, the Reaper timing is gone. I haven't seen it, so I'm gonna be a little bit more relaxed about it. I mean,
It might have. I mean,
hiding that Twilight is so important. I think.
It's fairly important, but it's not. Like this is a pretty. It's become a very popular build, and Terran can know it is coming, and it just doesn't really mean too much. Like, sure, it means they'll be a little more prepared, but it's not like the build can't work anymore. A lot of Koreans have really started to love doing this build as a way to just like get in Terran's face and take control of the map. Because if you play like a different style where you just kind of go straight for Colossi and play defensive, then Terran controls the tempo of the whole game. They're the one who says, should I drop, should I not drop, should I attack, should I expand? They get to decide the whole pace of the game. Whereas if you open right after going for Blink right after expansion, yes, your army development is a little bit slowed, but you control the pace of the game. You can decide if it's a fast game, a short game, if it's a multitasking game, if it's a micro game, etc.
So, Ryung knows, I think, it's a Blink Stalker play.
Yes.
He's building a bunker in his main base to kind of try to avoid the Blink Stalker stuff. I kind of like Blink Stalkers on this map because there is a lot of space you can jump into in the main base. With those Blink Stalkers, there's a lot of maneuverability, and it's not something you're going to invest everything into. He has a Rebel behind this. He might go into like Charge, Colossi type stuff. Might base it on what his opponent he sees from his opponent. Already got SCVs pulled from Ryung, so he should be okay here.
He should. If Song can get a couple of SCVs, he's going to be happy. He's going to look to see if he can threaten here into the main. There's an SCV there. He's going to go ahead and grab that. Maybe not quite. He's waiting for Blink, of course.
Yep.
Ryung has this bunker here, like you said. He shouldn't take significant damage. But it's still like
like where that depot is, if he blinks up there, I think that could be solid.
Yeah, he's a little bit afraid though, because the blink cooldown with this many much bio.
And Stim's about to finish too. Like once you blink up there and then the Marines and Marauders Stim, it's like one of those moments where you immediately regret that decision.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh god, why did we do that? So Sana's gonna be careful, gonna stand on the low ground. He's gonna be content though, keeping his opponent back, because right now he's buying himself time to get his Protoss stuff out.
Yep, and he's picking off some SCVs. This is actually really well done. He got 2 or 3 SCVs, didn't take any damage at all. Nicely done there. Now, he's getting double forge. So right now, Ryung does have the upgrade advantage, but San is going to change that. The one thing that's a little bit scary for San is Ryung didn't take a 3rd command center, which means there could be, I mean, he could just take one fairly soon. It wouldn't be, it's not like he's taking one abnormally late. Often Terrans start one kind of around now. And the question is he going to do that, or is he going to really commit to a lot of pressure? Because if you open Blink, like, he's trying to buy time to get all his stuff, right? He's getting 1-1 upgrades, he's going for Colossi. But if, like, Ryung attacked right now, it could be a little tricky for Asan. Now, with Blink Stalkers and Photon Overcharge, he should be fine. But it is something he has to watch out for. Well, I can't even see that dropship. It's so far at the edge of the map.
He cues it out there.
He really wants it to be not spotted.
Sneaky. So it's a good way to do it. So from here, Ryung is going to be, I would think, getting a third base. However,
Yeah.
I'm a little bit surprised. Like,
he's
he has a
getting the armor.
lot of money right now. So, oh, he might have just played. There it is.
There it is. Okay. Just wanting to kill the Observer first, maybe. So, oh, there's
another one.
Second one.
Dude.
Korean Protosses are so good with Observers.
It's amazing. I love making observers. In that
Yeah.
first 2v2 game we played, I made like 80.
Yep.
Not 80. I made
80
like,
80 is a decent number.
I made like 4.
Yeah, 4 is a better number, I think.
Yeah.
So a little less.
Observers are awesome,
Yeah.
man. So underrated. They should give them an ability. Though I think an Oracle is gonna, like, they're buffing the or they're thinking about buffing the Oracle.
Yep. Oracle's like the expensive Observer. It's like the Observer Deluxe.
Yep. So I think a lot of people are gonna start using Oracle.
Photon Overcharges here now.
They treat them as observers.
Oh, that was a cool little target fire there from Ryung.
Yep.
Not targeting the by default. Widow Mine targets the first one.
He's
in
just
his
trying to
radius.
run out. Just
Yep.
trying to get out of there. He's like, I'm out of here. See ya.
And you know, he did lose Widow Mine and like 1 or 2 Marines, or actually I think he only had 4 Marines in there. I think he just lost the Widow Mine. Well, I'm assuming actually. Uh-oh. This Observer might not get out. So he might get another shot up. This could be. It could get a Stalker and splash damage on probes. Who? Oh, there was. I thought this was the one who was gonna.
Oh.
I thought
yeah,
it was this one that came out of the robo. I didn't realize they had one coming back as well.
He snuck from the main with that observer. Okay, so overall, where do we stand? We got Ryung doing a little push across the map. We got Colossi coming out here for San.
Yes.
And once those Colossi get out, does he have one out already? I'm not sure he does.
Yes, he does.
Okay, so I don't necessarily see a push working here from Ryung. So it might be just about pressuring bases and doing drops.
If you can get a cancel on a third, that'd be nice. Upgrade-wise, Ryung kind of forgot to get +2 armor. So San is going to creep ahead. They're both at 1-1 right now, but San has both level 2 upgrades in production. Ryung is getting a second starport. So this could set him up really well for a pre-storm timing, or it could just be, late game, a lot of extra air production. It looks like Ryung just wants to play macro, though. He's moving his own third out. He's not really doing too much. He still has this drop that could come in, but it's very low on lives, so it's a little bit of a risky move to send that, and he wants to make sure something else is going on, or he sends it in as a distraction while his army hits a third or something like that. Still no level 2 armor yet. So I'm a little bit. I think he probably just didn't realize he never got that. Sometimes.
So he has a second engineering bay, though.
He does, yeah. Or does he actually? I could have sworn I saw him build one. You know what? I could be totally wrong. Oh, you know what? I saw him build the armory. So I assumed he went second eBay, but he didn't. This is actually, no, he's totally planning this. He just wants to stay on 1 eBay and focus on the attack. That allows him to get the second starport faster and some other things. So it actually is a trade-off.
Okay. So he's going to push forward here. He has his Vikings, and he's hitting before that Templar timing. Templar Archive's just now finished. So now San has to make a decision. Do I start Storm, or do I just make Archons? It looks like he's making the decision to make Archons. Just made 2 High Templar.
Yes.
And there's the Archon in production. So he's really focusing on defending this attack, and then he's going to worry about getting that Storm upgrade when he has enough time. But Ryung is kind of backing off a bit.
And what it means is San probably wants to make sure he can have gas to start 3-3. Because it storms a lot of gas, but he's also thinking about starting 3-3 upgrade. Oh, the Observer spots it all. He's not going to start 3-3. He's just going to go ahead and, cram out units. Like 3 more gateways being added. He kills Observer, but it's a little bit too late. It's already seen what's going on now.
Good timing. This is a good timing from Ryung.
It is a very good timing. Now, the unit count's very important. There's 3 Colossi, 9 Vikings.
Micro is going to be so important, too.
9 Vikings. So actually, he only has 7 with the army right now. 2 more are being rallied in.
So his idea is going to be take out the Colossus with the Vikings, keep your bio SCVs away. Once the Colossi are gone, swoop in with your army. That's going to be the goal here. Microwave the Marines Mirage. You do not want to take damage from Zealots, from Colossi. You want the Vikings to be extending forward. He's doing decently so far. Nice time warp there from San, trying to lay that, but look at this, Ryung kiting perfectly. Not a lot of damage being dealt, but now the Archons are in the front, and they're going to start dishing out a lot of damage. All the SCVs are gone, and San is going to be super happy with how this goes. Just not enough stuff here for Ryung.
There really wasn't. I mean, the Colossi did a lot of damage. There were Vikings, but maybe not quite enough to take the Colossi out fast enough. The 2-2 upgrades from San are finished, so we had an upgrade advantage. And that attack did not work out for Ryung. He's hit that point where he pulled the SCVs, it didn't work.
Yep. Yeah.
Does he go for another SCV
Isn't that
pool?
the you're like, okay, let's throw away all our workers. Bye,
Yeah.
workers. Let's go kill them.
These are unhappy mineral lines.
Charge. And
This
the
one's-
SCVs are in the front leading the charge, and they're realizing how they're getting destroyed and how this may be not a good situation.
Yeah.
And now the Terran race has to rebuild.
I mean, his army is still okay, but the Protoss army is deathful. Yeah. And I mean, the Vikings roll down, so future Colossi and even this Colossus right here.
To kind of explain this a bit more, if Ryung, if San had decided to go for 3-3, and if San had decided to try to get High Templar Storm out, it would have been much more difficult to hold that off. But San did a great job reading what his opponent was doing. He had that observer over his opponent's army, saw the SCVs coming, so he's like, okay, forget the late game. My opponent is going all in. My opponent is investing pretty much everything into this attack. If I hold it off decently, I'm going to win. So he just focused on getting a good position, getting as many Archons out as possible, because his opponent doesn't have Ghosts, so Archons are going to be phenomenal, provided you don't let him flank too much, and then he had a good engagement. Yeah,
it was really beautifully done. I mean, yeah, imagine if he had, let's say, 1 less Archon and 5 less Celts. If you think about Storm and 3-3, that's actually would be 2 less Archons and like 4 less Celts. I think it would have been a very, I mean, I'm not saying he would have lost for sure, or like, you know, that Ryung would have gone to win, but it would have been much closer. And I think Ryung might have been actually favored that. Like 2 less Archons is a lot less damage output. And 4 less Celts means your Archons and Stalkers and Colossi that do exist, their meat shield's going to die much faster as well. So it all kind of compounds.
Yeah, San doing a great job staying patient, identifying exactly what his opponent was doing. He kind of retained momentum throughout the entire game. Started with the Blink Stalker play, then got a lot of observers on the field, mitigated the effectiveness of the drops from Ryung. Ryung went for a push. It didn't end up working. So San is going to took out Ryung there. He's going to put Western Wolves up 1-0 in this best-of-9 team clan match between Western Wolves and Axiom. You're watching the Acer TeamStory Cup. We still got plenty of StarCraft 2 coming your way. Game 2 between Axiom and Western Wolves coming up.